LisaRaye, you play Alexis. And I heard that when you first started, it was supposed to be like a cameo, and here you are killing it, girl. So tell me about how this opportunity happened for you, and then tell us about your role.
That is absolutely right, because I want to speak to that. A cameo is you just jumping in and out. You know what I mean? It is, you're lending your brand to the storyline. You know what I mean? So I was supposed to come in, but the chemistry, really, I can't deny the chemistry with my character and Lawrence's character, Cameron, was just explosive. You know what I mean? And wanted to see more of us together. The fans, we looked at the comments, and so they asked me to come back more and more and more. And then it was like, well, that's a real character now. You know what I mean? And so then they started writing towards that and writing towards the relationship of he and I, because she came in scandalous already. She came in to, reclaim what she felt like she was owed through the fortune of which that Sanders had. And she is the sister of his dead wife. You know what I mean? And so it's almost like, what? Who does that? You know what I mean? So she comes in like, this is what it's about. And so he has his relationship with his new significant other, Carissa. And I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about her. I don't care if she's in the house, because he has deemed me able to stay in their big mansion. And I'm just absorbing and soaking in all of the riches that I see. This makes me feel like I need some of this. So what is my plan? And so that's how you see Alexis' mind unfolding to how she can get that. But what people don't really realize is that Alexis and Cameron has a history. And the history really speaks to itself, because when you have history with somebody, you see the dynamics of their relationship. And so there's real love there. There's really a relationship there that they can linger back on and say, wow, I remember when. So that history allows us to be friends. And so he has his reasoning why he's doing what he's doing. I have my reasoning, but what makes it complicated is that they love each other. So it's like, how do you mix the two and get what you really want? Perhaps you may have it all, but perhaps it may all be taken away.
Well, something, it was just really nice of Dan Garcia was putting it together when he created the series, and he had a wish list of people, and I was on the top of the wish list, and the casting director, Peter Wise, is a great friend. I've known Peter my entire life since we were kids. And they made the offer to me, which was really nice, and was nice timing. And when I saw the depth and the layers of what the character could be, I was like, wow, the last time I had a chance to play multi-layers is when I played Joe Jackson in the American Dream movie, the Jackson American Dream. I saw a character that had a lot of different growths that can happen. So in a sense, it had this kind of infusion in this character. So that's a nice opportunity. And it's been a lot. I've been allowed to do it, but also been able to grow up into it as we go along. As you're going to see a lot of it in the fourth season. I'm not going to give it away, but a lot of unexpected things happen. Some new strengths happen out of my character, a little bit of venom, a bit of tough guy, as well as emotional. So it's a nice range. And I just take it as a high opportunity and a nice thing to do. Yeah. Why not me? Yeah, I'm happy.
Lawrence, tell us a little bit more about your role for those who are tuning in that might not be too familiar.
Cameron Sanders Jr. is the head of a very important banking family. It was all ushered in from back. They have a relative named Letty back in the slave days, who became an entrepreneurial woman from after she was free, and she built this empire which we now benefit from. My father, who was played by David McKnight, wanted to keep it the old school way that it is, but those times have changed, and it didn't. And there's some different dirty deals going on. So my responsibility was to try to keep the family together with a business that I was thrown into that I really was not into, and I have kids, and my kids are also gotten a little bit greedy, I would say, a little extra ready. So it's a lot of layers of conflict to deal with all the time. So my character is constantly trying to be the good guy, trying to make some sense out of things, trying not to be a mean guy, but having to be a tough guy. How do you do it? You're raising kids, you're running a business. You have people who are deceitful. How do you handle the variables? This is the kind of flavors that's a lot of fun for me as an actor to play. And we certainly go through that in life. I've been in show business 55 years. I went through it and going through it. So I understand, the toughness of it. But I'm a tough guy, and I'm not afraid. And so that's Cameron for me. He's a man of many qualities and many convictions. that he's trying to come off with within a scenario that's a tight, confined situation. That's who he is. When they were telling me about the character of Alexis, and they were saying they were going to cast LisaRaye McCoy, I was happy in my own silent glee because I know her a long time and we like each other very easily, and we just always got along and always had an easy respect for each other. But I like the idea that that would not be an effort for us to be able to just play it because we already had a natural respect for each other. We still do. I mean, I like her sometimes. I don't like her anymore. Well, no, I still love her.
He cooks for me, girl.
I mean, I created food for her on the set. So that was just a triumph right there. And she's an intelligent lady, and I'm not just hyping her because she's here in front of me. It's true. She has reason. She's got life to her. She's the last punk on the planet, LisaRaye McCoy. And she brings that flavor, into her work and a commitment of being a professional. But she's also gracious and sharing. So how lucky is that? I'm about a lot of that as a person, and I believe in that. So our blending of it, I just think the potential of where we're going to develop, and we definitely seem to be we are on the same wavelength of where we're going to go with it, is going to grow greater and a little more important. There might be a spinoff in this, Lisa. Watch out, okay?
Ooh. Yes, the chemistry is undeniable. I love it.
You done touched me. You done made me emotional over here. Lord, wow, what happened?
Oh my God!
All the flowers,
darling.
LisaRaye. All the flowers.
I'm telling you,
where's the glue for my eyelash?
Truth.
Jesus.
I love her.
So LisaRaye, let me ask you this. Are you slapping anybody this season? Are you coming in?
I mean, what's a slap? I may have even a gun in my hand this time. You know what I mean? Stay tuned, honey. I'm doing things. I'm pleasantly surprised at my character, how well written she is, because she ain't no punk. She'll ride or die, and she gonna throw down with you. You know what I mean? So when you have your partner over here in crime, it's like, what we gonna do? How we gonna do it? You know what I'm saying? And so I think the audience is going to be pleasantly surprised to be able to know what the cliffhangers are episode after episode, because it definitely keeps you involved enough to go, wait a minute. Okay. I can't wait till next week. You know what I mean? So you can see it. So yeah, we bringing it.
Yes. I'm excited.
A lot of unexpected turns. Yeah.
A lot of unexpected turns. I'm excited. I can't wait. Lawrence, I mean, you've been in the game 55 years, and we've watched you on a plethora of different films, The Jacksons, Cooley High, Claudine. Was there a favorite role for you?
Something, the most involving role I've ever had in my life that hadn't laced it was playing Joe Jackson, because it was a full. I played him 38 when I did it. I was playing him 20, 54. And all those emotional ranges of working in the steel mills and having the kids and this royalty of musical family that blew out of it, that was a wonderful growth. Sometimes when I think about it, I said, people say, well, what was it like playing Joe Jackson for you? I said, the guy that I played in Claudine, to me, is the Joe Jackson growing up. It started out in Claudine where this guy was on, and I grew up. I take it as a high blessing. I don't take myself lightly, and and the things that have come along my way, and I've had the opportunity to be able to do. Yes, when I studied acting up in Harlem, in New York City, where I'm from, in the basement of the St. Philip's Church with Al Fan, theatrical ensembles, and whatnot, what they taught us, and I always believe, is that you must always go the extra mile, go extra 2 miles. If you're going to commit, you commit hardcore and all the way. But that means you have to come from somewhere. You got to know the work. You have to have a substance behind. You have to have a respect. You have to have your integrity, and you don't take nobody, sugar, honey, iced tea, as my daughter would say, and so, that is where I come from. Yeah. So, that's me, and that's my belief system. And then the many roles that have come along with me, I just say, wow, it's fantastic. Just fantastic to keep it going. And we're able to grow into the Cameron role with The House Divided and playing with all the wonderful players. And LisaRaye, and I, or, developing this nice character relationship that's coming out of us. We're both on the same page. We get it without even speaking it to each other. We're talking about it now on camera here or on in the moment, but we feel that in the moment when we're doing it. We don't so much discuss it. We just kind of know and stuff like that. So how about that? Yeah.
I love it.
That's a big try.
I love it. LisaRaye, we have Harlem out now. We have Run the World and Just Like That with Sex and the City. And I remember my girls and I used to get really excited when Single Ladies used to come on. I love me some Keisha, girl. Listen, So I want to ask, would you ever do another series like that again?
Man, I'm just getting emotional today, because I tend to do my characters and leave the work right there on the set. And I don't really revisit it. I don't really watch my own work. And I've just gotten to the point just the last couple of weeks to be able to do that. But it's not until I do interviews that really recall my career and my accolades and what characters I've played. And it's almost like, wait, girl, you have been in the business for a while, but people like you. Like, people like the characters that you have played and portrayed. So come on, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that to say that I'm not confident. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it to say that, but it's just nice to hear just even what Lawrence had just said about me. It's almost like I feel that I'm professional. I feel that I'm nice. You know what I mean? But when it comes from someone else that they recognize it and able to give it back to you, it sounds different, and it's more heartfelt and touching when you know and you realize that you've touched someone like that. So thank you for that. So Keisha, right, from Single Ladies, what she the bomb? She was, I mean, when I tell you
Loved
that
her.
she was just, I vicariously lived through her like I do all my characters, because life imitate art so simultaneously for me as well. But Keisha was sharp. She was smart. She was a poker player. She didn't take no stuff. She had the man. He was rich. She was stylish. When I tell you, we had great eye candy, great stories. Like, I really miss Single Ladies. Like, we were the Black Sex in the City, and we gave it to you. You know what I mean? It was real, and people were invested. Maybe we may have a reboot. I don't know, but we sure that Stacey Dash won't probably be there. But I mean, just saying. So, but moving on, you know what I mean, over here to House Divided, you know what I mean, I done grew up and took that drama and put it into this drama and made it more twisted, and now people's invested in Alexis, and I love the name. Alexis just kind of remind me back in the day of the old divas like Alexis Carrington, back when Dallas and Fort and Knox Landing and Dynasty, was just like regalness. So, and then you get a chance to see Black royalty, if you will, have money and be able to showcase their lifestyle and what we do when we have money, because we kind of shine and boast a whole different type of way than our other counterparts. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just proud to be able to do characters that people really relate to, because that's part of who LisaRaye's connection and realism is,
I have to wrap up, but LisaRaye, I know that you are really big on vision board, so I have to ask you got your 2022 vision board ready for this year? I did
my first vision board workshop at the top of the year on the 9th in Pensacola, Florida. And I tell you, I needed it just like they needed it. I resonated. I was brilliant. I was funny. I was transparent, and I needed it. And so my 2022, I haven't actually written new stuff down, because I do it throughout the year. I don't have to wait till the beginning of the year to have new beginnings. But you're right. I believe in manifestation. I believe in the power of our words. I believe in wellness. And so, I would like to encourage people that's out there, let's take care of ourselves. You know what I mean? Because we don't know what's going to happen. And we got this coronavirus that's trying to keep us down, but don't let it happen. Don't let it happen. Get in your bed with your mask and your tea and watch A House Divided at home.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. And Lawrence, really quick, tell the viewers where they can tune in every week to watch A House Divided and what time.
To be able to view A House Divided, it accesses on AllBLK TV, which is a streaming network, as well as Amazon Prime. So you can find our shows there. If you have Amazon Prime, you put in The House Divided, you can watch us to death, or you can subscribe to AllBLK TV, and which for $4.95 a month, you can afford it. And you'll be able to watch us and see all the shows, as well as other nice shows on that network. Created by Bob Johnson, who's a good brother and a good friend.
And
so
there you have it. Yes, and there you have it. Thank you so much, Lawrence.
Thank you.
LisaRaye, thank you for everything that you've been doing. We love you, and we just can't wait to tune in next week.
Thank you.